Phil Collin's nasty divorce is starting to reek. Nothing like a little celebrity drama and infighting to put into perspective your own problems. You should probably count your blessings and be grateful you aren't Phil Collins right now, because his ex-wife, Orianne Cevey, is giving him one of the biggest legal battles of his life right now. Cevey is Collin's third wife. He met the Swiss national jewelry designer in 1999 while on tour. She was 21 at the time and working as a translator. The two had 2 children together and lived in Begnen, Switzerland for quite some time, basking in their love and living the high life. But eventually, cracks began to form in their once impassioned relationship. They divorced in 2006, and Cevey ended up getting £25 million out of Collins in one of the biggest settlements in British celeb divorce history. Collins is probably kicking himself. Most people know that when you get back together with an ex, it's rarely a good idea. There's a reason why exes are exes. But sometimes people have to learn that lesson the hard way. The two rekindled their relationship back in 2015 after Cevey divorced her then-husband, Charles Alamy. But back in July, Cevey gave Phil reason to regret his decision to give their relationship another go-around. Collins was at his luxurious $40 million home in Miami when he received a text message from Cevey informing him that she had met someone new. You might expect Cevey to be somewhere far away when she broke that news, but she was in fact in the house with him at the time, too timid to tell him in person. Her message informed him that she wanted to pursue happiness with someone else. She went on to explain that Collins had already met her new suitor, whom she identified as someone named Thomas Bates. Apparently, Cevey only felt compelled to inform Collins of her new love interest after the couple's 2 teenage sons, Nick and Matthew, spotted the lovebirds getting close and cozy at a 4th of July celebration. Frankly, she had been caught in the act, and the only way to save face was to own up to her actions. Collins recalls that Bates had attended the 4th of July barbecue, but he wasn't aware that his ex-wife had gotten acquainted with him. But their kids sure caught an eyeful when they walked in on the two making out. The boys gave her an ultimatum. They informed her that if she didn't tell their dad what she was up to, then they would. Bates and Cevey got married in a shotgun wedding in Vegas at the Graceland Wedding Chapel in early August. And yes, that means their union was officiated by one of those super cheesy Elvis impersonators. Because how else do solid marriages start off? After their hasty marriage in Sin City, Cevey jumped into action and lawyered up. She claims that Collins had promised her 50-50 ownership of the mansion that they jointly purchased back in 2015. To ensure that she would get what was supposedly promised to her, she hired armed guards to essentially hold Collins' waterfront abode hostage until legal proceedings commenced. Collins fought back by countersuing with the intent of evicting her from the premises. He filed a lawsuit cussing her unlawful detainer and forcible entry back in October after she refused to leave the property. He denies her claims that he promised her anything financially. And with that back and forth litigious exchange, a celebrity divorce war was declared. The lines were drawn in the sand, so to speak, and each side vowed to not surrender until decisive legal action was conferred in their favor. Cevey plays dirty. In a pretty obvious attempt at character assassination, Cevey has made some pretty alarming and disparaging claims about Collins' hygiene and personal habits. In one court filing filed on November 9, 2020, Cevey claimed that Collins had stopped showering and brushing his teeth, and that he had become hopelessly addicted to antidepressant medication. She also claims that he had become emotionally and verbally abusive to her over the course of the last year. That wasn't the end of her scathing attack either. She continued to detail that Collins' odor had become so repulsive that he was forced to hermit himself and avoid contact with anyone else. She also hit him below the belt a bit by claiming that he had become incapable of having sex and refused to offer her or her children any kind of emotional support, love, or care. She says that he had become so impossible to live with that she had no other choice but to distance herself from him. And when she met her new husband, Thomas, it was like a breath of fresh air. She felt rescued from a situation that was slowly suffocating her. Quick side note, If you're digging this video so far, why not tap the like button and subscribe to our channel? And keep watching to see exactly why Cevey doesn't deserve a dime of Phil Collins' money. For one thing, anyone that buys a brand new Bentley in cash isn't exactly what we would call financially destitute. But it gets deeper than that. Collins denies all allegations. The Another Day in Paradise singer's lawyers pushed back against her claims by describing them as immaterial and impertinent. They further stake the claim that Cevey's allegations equate to a form of extortion. Collins' attorney explained that Cevey's claims are scandalous, insulting, unethical, patently false, and wildly exaggerated. He reaffirms that her allegations are intended to damage Phil Collins' reputation and image, in a shameless attempt to bleed money out of him. In late October, Cevey and Bates agreed to leave the home by mid-January, at the latest, so that Collins could put the property up for sale. Cevey is still asking for 50% of the sale price of the house, and no settlement has been reached. People close to Phil claim that Cevey is actively using the house as a bargaining chip against him. But her attorney claims that the only reason why she remained at the property was to ensure that she received a fair settlement. A little more backstory. When Collins and Cevey first got back together, it initially seemed like the two were thrilled to be back in each other's arms again. Both told reporters a similar story about temporarily losing sight of what was most important, and that when they separated, the only thing that they could think about was how much they missed each other. Cevey was quoted as saying how grateful she was to have a second chance at love, and that living together, doing typical domestic things together like changing the light bulbs and cooking dinner, was a dream come true. But that second honeymoon-like period together would quickly sour. I will be here, don't you cry. Cevey never seemed to be satisfied with what she had, and she had a lot. It must be nice being the wife of an affluent A-list celebrity. She had access to his mansion, his fancy cars, credit cards, flights on private jets, and exclusive invitations to elite celebrity shindigs. But what she really wanted was the company of other men. She wanted to have her cake and eat it too, and she wasn't opposed to going behind her partner's back to get everything that she wanted. A couple of years ago, Cevey had an affair with a male escort named Preston Thompson. She flew him all across the world with her, and even took him as her date to Sir Elton John's Oscars party in the Bahamas. Their fling apparently lasted for 14 months. Thompson, however, has come to Collins' defense during this most recent scandal. He told The Sun that Cevey is trying to destroy Phil's life. Even though he took care of her and showered her with luxuries and money, now she wants more. He explained that she wanted to live a rock star lifestyle, but Collins had settled down as he aged. Age is apparently a big issue. Cevey apparently loves younger men. She's 46, but when she got with Thompson, he was 29. And when she married Bates, he was 31. It's clear that she's not satisfied with a man of Collins' age. Thompson broke things off with Cevey after he found texts on her phone from another man. He actually texted Collins at the time, letting him know what his wife had been up to. That's really the moment when things began to unravel. What comes next? The legal battles are sure to ensue for the next several months, unless Collins and Cevey are able to come to some kind of settlement out of court. Really though, Cevey doesn't have much ground to stand on. All she has is her testimony that Collins verbally agreed to support her if she divorced her husband. She claims that Phil promised to take care of her if they ended up breaking up before their youngest son turned 18. Currently, Collins is offering for her to stay at the mansion for another month. He says she can stay on his health insurance and have a little bit of money to pay for a rental property when she moves out. But he is unwilling to shell out another $20 million when he already paid her close to $50 million in their settlement a decade ago. Apparently, Cevey blew through most of that money already, in a series of bad investments and with a whole lot of frivolous spending. And since Cevey and Bates got married, it substantially weakens her case that Collins needs to take care of her financially. As it stands, it looks like she will continue to make outlandish and baseless allegations against him, thinking that someone will help her score a larger settlement. But that could very well backfire and blow up in her face. Time will tell. This is one divorce battle that you're going to want to keep a watchful eye on. It doesn't look like either side is going to concede defeat anytime soon, and as time goes on, the stakes are likely only to get higher. Again, looking at this messy situation should make you feel better about your own life. At least you don't have someone blabbing to the media and courts about your hygiene and sexual impotency. Yikes! Do you think that Orianne Cevey is going to win her case and get half of the $40 million, or do you think the judge is going to throw her case out, citing a lack of evidence for her claims? Let us know what you think in the comments section below. And make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to the Trender channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to tap the bell icon to turn on notifications so you can keep up with all of our latest content as well.
Just take a look at you, then I'm not so